running, because he's not really the most active in the first 10 minutes. You know, he can run around a little bit. We've seen it in the past from players like Aggressive. But has PL seen any big changes? I don't feel like he got touched at all.
Yeah, I don't think PL was in the patch notes.
I'm control F'ing the hell out of this, and I can't. No, Phantom Lancer's not there. So Phantom Lancer was completely untouched. Queen of Pain got a little nerf to Scream of Pain and Sonic Wave. Damage reduce and travel speed on Sonic Wave was the damage on Scream was reduced. Travel speed on Sonic Wave was reduced. So she's a little bit weaker.
I think one thing we have to remember is that by default, all the heroes are affected by the patch because of all the different jungle arrangements, basically. Like, there's more camps, and it's harder for heroes to clear stacks now that they have more magic resistance, depending on which creep spawn. And the stacking multiple camps became harder, I believe. So indirectly, heroes like Shadow Fiend are nerfed because they can't farm as fast as they used to. So I guess that could mean heroes like PL, which don't rely too much on jungle clear, are better heroes.
Yeah, I guess you can look at it that way as well. With Anti-Mage, because he doesn't rely on magic damage, he just cleaves through all of those creeps in the jungle. So, I mean, Phantom Lancer, if you do go into the jungle, it's sort of like camp by camp. You take a single camp, you move on to the next one. It's never taking big, juicy stacks, but Disruptor there to deal with the Anti-Mage, maybe some kind of way to grab him back into the arms of Tusk and Darkseer. Now, teamfight control, like big AoE teamfight here, is good for Liquid. Disruptor, Queen of Pain, Darkseer. But Digital Chaos have a lot of, pure raw damage output just to throw into the mix, I feel.
I think both teams are quite evenly matched in terms of like I guess like the rules of WCA is really kicking in. No passive play. Like one side has PL and the other side has Anti-Mage, but I think both lineups are capable of playing aggressively, as per the WCA rules. It's all gonna come down to the early game though. I would say PL and Anti-Mage, they match up fairly evenly, I think. But Anti-Mage is often considered a counter to PL simply because he farms so much faster and he has a Battle Fury advantage against PL's. Well, he kind of relies on not dying and picking up hero kills here and there in the early mid game, more so than Anti-Mage.
Now, going back to the jungle camps we were talking about, something that came up during our discussion the other night with Nahaz and Mad and people was that, okay, if magic damage sort of flash farm nukes are going to be nerfed here in the jungle, what about physical damage heroes like Tidehunter, Beastmaster with his wild axes? He no longer has to stack Ancients. He can actually stack this large camp, or potentially stack both for himself, right? He can stack large camp and Ancients and clear through them as this offlane Beastmaster. So he's going to have some sustainable income actually flowing into him. But we'll take a look at the lanes. Mind Control offlane Darkseer. I mean, his counterpart Bulba over on that Beastmaster, of course. But safe lane, tri-lane. AUI 1437 up on the top with the Vengeance Bane. Arteezy, the one-roll anti-mage. Mid is going to be TC Invoker against what looks like the dual lane. Jirax and Fata for now. Jirax will be roaming around on the Tusk like he's been seen to do. But it's the bot lane. Matsumba Man, the Phantom Lancer. How much action and havoc can you cause with Kuroki's Disruptor? Because, I don't know, Beastmaster can trade hits relatively good, especially once he hits level 3 with these heroes.
I think one of the items I'd like to mention is that right now the Invoker's using...
Have you seen mid? TC's actually dead. TC's actually dead. Whose tree was that, though? They used shards to block in the Invoker. I think it was... No, was it? It can't be an Invoker's tree.
No, I think it was
Tusk.
Jirax's.
What? He just plants a tree there behind the Invoker. Oh my goodness.
Oh, so he basically used an Ice Shard and planted 2 trees to basically make the Invoker practically stunned. He couldn't get out, I think.
Amazing.
At first I thought it was Invoker, like he had messed up hotkeys or something.
So I thought the Invoker placed the tree so he could tango it for the double regen, right? That's what I thought he was going for. But then they've changed it, so the double regen is more time rather than more HP.
So it's not so useful in these kind of situations where you really, like the Tango regen isn't gonna help you live so much as before.
Yeah.
When it gave you like 16 regen.
Interesting
So,
stuff.
people have been talking a lot about the bigger items, the new items basically, the one that Aether Lens, the one that increases your cast range. But I think the Iron Wood Branch is something worth talking about too. Yeah, over at top.
1437, the shards are good from Jerax again. And it looks like Bane's going to be dropping here. He's got Brain Sap only, no Nightmare to deny, and AUI. He's caught as well in the mix. There's 3 heroes here from Liquid, just battering into the poor Vengeful Spirit. And if Queen of Pain didn't have a great start already with 10 last hits, doubling up, they'll go in again onto TC with a snowball forward. There's no shards just yet. Jerax has them available now. But goodness gracious me, Fata 3-0-0. I just want, for the sake of this, he's at 2,000 net worth at 2.5 minutes in. It's insane. Absolutely insane start for him.
Oh, no passive play.
Absolutely not. No flip-flops, no passive play. No doors on the booth. Well, I'll actually move the 2 supports down to bottom lane. So Liquid, under a bit of pressure on this off-lane Bulba. Yeah, he's trading hits nicely, and when they throw the axes with a Brain Sap, Matumbaman's HP pool dropping very quickly.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, they switched the lanes completely all of a sudden.
Oh, mid lane, are they going back in onto the Invoker? Yeah, they are. So he is switching back into the Quas Wex build. He went for the early Alacrity, but now he's going back into Quas for the regen. But poor TC, 4-0. Team Liquid are just running away with this early stage of the game.
Yeah, I think the Invoker is kind of forced to go Wex Invoker because I don't think Exort Invoker controls the Queen of Pain and the Tusk well enough. Even the Darkseer for that matter. The Exort Invoker usually doesn't get an Orchid, which can pressure the PL. Even though PL does get the Diffusal Blade and Manta, which are counters to the Orchid.
Oh,
I'm actually not even sure what items Exort Invoker would go for nowadays. Because we haven't seen it in such a long time.
I'm not sure either. We saw a bit of like Yule Scepter, but it's a difficult one, you know. There's the old Forge Spirit and Necrobook build, where you go for like a 4 staff, boots of travel and split push. But I think you're right. You just go Quas Wex, go into the Orchid. With the Urn Cold Snap, you can control the Queen of Pain a little bit nicer. I think the one thing that DC though can take away from this is that Anti-Mage is fully free farming on top lane. 30 last hits, and against the Darkseer no less, you know. He's gone for the Ring of Regen build, which is normal against the DS. Just tank up, heal through that Ion Shell. But everything's slowed down a lot now. DC realized that, okay, bot lane, we're stopping PL from farming a little bit. But with the trade-off here, Jerax actually moves himself into the trees and hides away, looking for any form of initiation, while Fata mid lane, he's still crushing this Invoker.
I mean, with the start he had, I think this is to be expected, I think. I think at bottom the PL is fine though. These heroes don't pressure PL at all, in my opinion. The Beastmaster and Vengeful, they're just kind of there right now, but PL's farm is not really affected.
Oh, they've got the shards into the snowball, and Bulba throwing the wild axes is the only thing he can do, and AY actually glips back into the shards. Jerax should be able to chase this one down. With shards coming back up in 4 seconds time, Matumbaman, no Lance there as AUI does juke himself around nicely through the trees. And if you look towards mid, 1437, the level 2 Bane is actually looking for this, I don't know what it's going to be. Nightmare into what? Alacrity Cold Snap? Fata should be able to blink away here.
I think the only way you kill Queen of Pain in that situation is if you sleep, Sunstrike, and you Brain Sap at the same time, and then you follow with Cold Snap and Alacrity.
Such a tight window. And Fata,
Yeah,
he'll be happy.
It was a hard kill.
4-0-0, treads bottle, pre-6 minutes. Oh my goodness, this Queen of Pain. I mean, she's been nerfed a little bit with her actual damage output and team fight power. I think Sonic Wave got a bit of a nerf. That the travel speed of the wave is reduced a significant amount. Damage on screens been reduced, but still laning power from Quap is superb. Still got the good old attack damage and animation. But with Matumbaman, it's now time to deal with these boars. Bulba throwing things out onto him, and Matu's got nothing left. Is a bottle incoming? Yeah, he's fine. He's got a full bottle coming to him now.
Oh, he could have. I guess he could have bought the
Side
bottle
shop.
from the side shop, but you only get one charge from it, so he didn't want to deal with having to check the rune or having his support TP in to get a refill.
Well, Fata gets the kill mid, but I just want to watch Mind Control up at top because he's the one being gone on here. Invoker was likely to die regardless, but Mind Control, they're actually backing up off this. Arteezy wants a little bit more. But Docs here, going to take a couple of hits. The Bane has left the AM high and dry. I mean, 1437's gone back to what, stack or pull?
Oh, bottom.
They're looking for the Venge. Yeah, they've not just looked for her, they found her. Simple kills. Simple pickoffs here for Liquid. And this poor Invoker. Phase boots null. It's not awful, but this is a hero that needs a good start to ramp himself up.
I mean, I hate to say this, but I think Digital Chaos are kind of, they're sort of panicking because they gave up 3 early kills and then kind of rotated to bottom, the 2 supports. And I mentioned earlier that I didn't really think they were serving much of a purpose because PL wasn't being pressured. In fact, I think PL does really well against both Bane and the Vengeful. So they kind of stayed bottom and PL wasn't pressured. In fact, he just it kind of sped up his progression into the game.
Oh.
And at mid, there's a Queen of Pain, which is really hard to get a gank on, as we saw earlier with the Bane sleep. The follow-up isn't really the best right now, or at least like TC has to prepare the right skill set if he knows the Bane's coming. But at the time, he had a Cold Snap and Alacrity, so I think Digital Chaos is having a hard time finding the angles right now.
Oh, Jerax has seen AUI. Oh, the shards don't trap him in though. And this could put him in a compromising position. He's going to stun through Arteezy, but Mind Control is actually on his tail looking for the go here. But TP's coming in, and DC should find themselves a kill at long last. Get themselves on the board with Arteezy Mana Void. Killing off that Tusk. I mean, at least it's not the Docs here. But Jerax, aggressive play, and that Tornado's pretty good actually. Can purge off the Ion Shell now. It's not a big change, it's just a quirky little thing that happens.
I mean, it's a nice change. When I first read it, I thought there aren't many skills that purge or dispel at the point in the game where you kind of need it the most, like Ion Shell at pre 10 minutes basically, when people are laning. After that, most heroes that farm have abilities that can just nuke down the creeps and get rid of the Ion. They basically kill the creep, so Ion Shell doesn't need to be dealt with. But it's a nice feature, I think. It was like it didn't quite make sense that you could shield someone and you can't dispel it like most other buffs.
Now, remember I was talking about Beastmaster actually farming the camp towards his lane near the tier 2 at bot. That's not happening, but Darkseer up at top is. He's actually clearing through this large camp which he stacked up for himself about 3 or 4 times. So no longer does he have to go back to the jungle and leave the lane. There's a good way to actually go and farm this up if the lane's going badly. And then not have to TP when the actual creep wave's pushing into your tier 1.
Disruptor?
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Kuroki, they're going to get another kill, and it looks like he'll get finished off with a Cold Snap. Invoker now, 1-3-0, but he's getting a good deal of experience out of these. I still feel this little ramp that goes towards the bot rune spot is really weird looking.
Yeah, I'm having, honestly, to be like completely honest, I'm having trouble navigating the map right now because things that used to be there aren't there anymore, and they're new ramps, and I have to kind of like adjust to like where I am in the map right now.
Yeah, there are no longer any real cliffs for like telekinesis or vacuum to trap you. I think that was one of the big things I noticed, was that Roshan, the pit, is the only place you can really get sort of trapped up on a hillside. Oh, Fata! You've dived in too deep. AUI turned with the stun with Bulba there, TPing in. Mega kill streak goes the way of the Beastmaster, and ooh, Queen of Pain giving away a juicy kill there. Arteezy up on top lane, not going to get caught by Jerax or Mind Control. But all of a sudden, Digital Chaos. These are not just kills, these are big kills. I mean, Bulba now has Necrobook in 400 gold.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah, I can feel that DC is feeling more confident after a few kills that they started getting. The first being at top for anti-mage, and I was wondering if Arteezy's gonna decide to go for the new item, the Iron Talon. I think it's like the Quelling Blade plus Ring of Protection and a recipe, and you can disassemble it. I think I tested it earlier in the lobby, and you can basically make the Quelling Blade into the Battle Fury and the Ring of Protection into Vlad's. But I guess he didn't really choose to go for it.
Oh, you can disassemble it?
Yeah, you can. You just drop the recipe in the ground. It only costs like 500 gold total, so. Like when you're clearing the hard camp, you can use it on the big creep and save a lot of time.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was the big thing we were looking at with that item, is that everything else it says can be disassemblable, but that one didn't in the patch notes. So we were kind of wondering, what's the point of it if it's just going to be that sort of gold sink early on. But Arteezy denies up the top tier 1. Fata's now actually farming in the enemy jungle. They're just trying to put as much pressure on these lanes as they possibly can. This Phantom Lancer continues to farm away. 12 minutes in, let's take a quick look. Level-wise, there's a couple of heroes still... Well, there's one hero still not level 6, and that's the Bane. Level 4. Everyone else has their ultimates up and ready, but net worth, Queen of Pain's been caught up to. AM has 5k. PL, Invoker, not looking too bad. Fata's still ahead, but he's not as ahead as he should be with the start he had. Up at the top, the TP's coming in. Arteezy's caught in a Static Storm, but with the Nightmare there, not going to get the deny. Mind Control's now trapped in, and will drop, but 1437, TC the shards. Jirax is here with a punch, and Fata, he's ready to fight with the Tornado. Maybe TC buys himself enough time, but it's not going to be good enough. And the blink forward from Fata will secure another kill here. 1437, Brain Sap into Nightmare. Snowball picks up the Quap, and down goes the Bane, though. With a few punches out, Kuroki will secure it. 3 dead for the price of 1, and well worth it there for Team Liquid.
Yeah, that was a pretty rough fight for DC. I think they kind of like came too late. I think they should have just let Arteezy die, because when he was trapped in the Disruptor ult, like he was dead for sure. There wasn't any saving it. It was only a revenge kill. Well, at least the Digital Chaos, they managed to get the bottom tower as a trade, which is really important for Anti-Mage to be able to get his Battle Fury and split push more confidently later into the game.
Look at this sneaky little Observer Ward here, seeing everything come through. The big Tornado, though, is going to be able to catch them. Sonic Wave. He killed off Bane, but TC roar up onto Jirax, and Manifold's good back onto Kuroki, and with the glimpse back, Arteezy will be sent away, but Kuro dead to the boar as Beastmaster picks up a double kill, and Arteezy is on the hunt for more. Aggressive play from Liquid. That Invoker, EMP Tornado before the Snowball could pick them up, definitely working out wonders for them. Looks like Arteezy's closing on the Battle Fury as well.
I was actually quite surprised that Liquid were still staying in their jungle, the dire side jungle. Because usually after a kill, they got 2 or 3 kills earlier after they killed Arteezy. So what usually happens is Dire respawns and they kind of like clump up, and they're gonna move back into the jungle more prepared the next time. So and that's kind of what happened. I guess if they didn't get the Tornado off on 3 heroes, and it could have gone the other way, but it was kind of greedy, I guess, from Liquid.
That's actually pretty good awareness of DC. The Observer Ward that Liquid had up on this ramp over here, I guess it's not difficult to spot. I guess de-warded out, but you just look at the vision from Liquid. The Bermuda Triangle of Observer Wards all around that jungle. Because they know as soon as Arteezy gets that Battle Fury, he's going to spend all of his time there. But speaking of AM and his farming patterns, again, coming back to this camp and the camps around the Ancients, his actual farming cycle is improved quite significantly. There's no downtime, basically. He just goes camp, 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 Ancients, lane, camp, camp, camp.
The neutral camps, the non-ancient camps next to the Ancients are actually quite nice for AM, because before, when he went for Ancients, it was kind of awkward. If you go for Ancients, you have to kind of go to the opposite side neutral camps, because you don't need a minute to clear the Ancients. You might need a minute to clear an entire jungle.
Matu got gripped and mana voided. And is that going to be... yeah, that's Battle Fury done. 16 minutes Battle Fury for this anti-mage. And this is where he really starts to pick up the pace. Even though Liquid were, what, 7-0 ahead, they didn't really phase Arteezy at all. He's 2-1-2, 100 last hits at 16 minutes. Honestly, a little bit crazy there.
What surge is this?
I think this Battle Fury timing is like really good. I don't think he got much support, as we saw the Bane and Venge rotate early on. and then his tier 1 got pushed really early.
Oh,
but it's a
right
stick
in
to
the
the
jungle. Kuroki, the static storm's there, but what does it do? Mind Control throws the wall down, and Arteezy's being destroyed by his own illusion, but he'll be able to turn around, hit it a couple of times, and now farm through the jungle. Roshan actually being pinged out here by 1437. But this little ramp, you could see the Darkseer and the Bane just trying to run up and down the ramp at the same time, but Mind Control had no idea what was coming towards him.
I was gonna say earlier that when you're like getting chased through that small ramp, you could basically use an Iron Wood Branch and block it off, I think.
Yeah.
With a tree.
Just one tree at either end. Block someone in for 20 seconds. Unless they have a Quelling or a Tango or something. Oh goodness. Ancient stack as well.
Did Roshan's tankiness get nerfed? Because it just felt like they killed it really fast, but maybe that's to be expected. They have Alacrity and Beastmaster Aura.
And Avenge with level 3 wave.
Oh yeah, Avengeful.
They don't have a medallion yet, do they? Don't think so. No, it doesn't look like it. I saw Disruptor pick one up though. Disruptor with his medallion, but yeah, Vengeful Spirit with Wave of Terror, Beastmaster with what, level 2 in the Inner Beast? They've got tons of auras here. I mean, it's steroids for this anti-mage basically, who's very close to finishing his Vlads. And TC, speaking of items, that Orchid which we thought was never going to appear. He's got his first Oblivion Staff and he's not that far away from it.
I'm actually, well, I wanted to see some new items and new heroes, but we haven't seen either. Maybe I guess the Iron Wood Branch usage kind of counted, and Fata did have the Fairy Fire at during the laning phase. But no one's really picking up the actual, like, real items that were released this patch.
So, with Fata going Yule Scepters first, what's the reasoning behind this? Is this just like a TP cancel kind of thing? Because of the lack of stuns they've got?
No, it's because of Invoker mostly, I think. And like, if you notice, like, they have Venge Stun, which can be easily dodged by heals mid. I think Darkseer's dead.
Damage, yeah, with the stun and the roar, Bulba gets the kill, but in comes Matsumo Man with the DD rune still up. Bulba's going to drop here. Kuroki is gripped up, but 1437 is in a compromised position. Will drop here to that Matsumo Man Phantom Lancer. Arteezy on the hunt, looking for the PL kill. They'll cleave through these illusions, and Matu has no mana left. They'll blink forward aggressively, looking for this power play, and swap back into stun.
Oh,
AUI, what a player, gets the kill, and Fata, he's got no blink for 2 seconds time, stunned up, and now the Yule Scepter. Is this going to be enough mana burn? Not there in time. I mean, Arteezy, that's aggressive play, but my goodness.
Radiant's middle tower.
Digital chaos.
No passive play.
No passive play. I feel like that's going to be coming up every game. That play from AUI though. Swap into stun.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, earlier, I think RTD, yeah, he should be okay here. Earlier we were talking about the Yule's pickup on Queen of Pain. I think most Queen of Pain players would.
Under attack.
Oh, Queen of Pain.
Oh, she's in a bit of trouble. This Arteezy anti-mage, man. Level 4 mana break. Level 4 mana break.
Well, I mean, I think against the lineup of Liquid, because they have really low armor. Like the Queen of Pain we saw earlier, anti-mage kind of cuts through her like butter right now. She doesn't have any armor. And with the Aegis especially, he's confident enough to do these kind of like aggressive blinks. Usually you want some kind of like a Manta style before you really participate in these fights, but he has an Aegis, so it kind of acts as a Manta.
Oh, TC. Oh, TC. He didn't get the Ghost Walk, couldn't get away. And his Orchid is going to be delayed a little bit. AM kills off the Tusk. AM? Yeah, AM kills the Tusk. Oh, that's down in bottom lane, actually. With the help of 1437 there, it looks like. But the incursion into the dire jungle Bulba. TP away in the vacuum from Mind Control off the mark completely. Level 3, maybe expecting a little more range there. AUI will hide himself away in the trees. But RTZ, this anti-mage, he's still got Aegis for a little while, right? Kuroki, oh god, no, Kuroki! The anti-mage just blinks forward and demolishes him. Now he's looking for a bit more Fata. Yeah, blinked on, there's the hits, but Yule Scepter will stop this play. RTZ doesn't care. He got a kill, and now he gets to farm. It's forced Liquid away, and all of this all of this posturing from Liquid, it just comes to nothing.
The AM's playing quite exceptionally this game. I haven't seen an anti-mage so aggressive, like with so few items. Not that his farm's bad or anything, but he started fighting only with like a Battle Fury. And then he was fortunate enough to get the Aegis, which kind of like, I guess it suits his playstyle because Arteezy's, a lot of people think he's a righter, but he's known for, he likes to fight basically. You can tell on a lot of the heroes, like Gyrocopter, I think he plays very aggressively, and that's sort of how he's playing the anti-mage right now.
Whoops. I was so focused on Arteezy blinking all the way across the map, he'll get the kill on Fata down a bot. Holy shit, he just got absolutely ravaged. But TC did die over in this area. Oh, whoops.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, earlier I was saying in the early game that the Digital Chaos kind of seemed to be like lost, or they lost confidence when they started dying left and right. And now the opposite is kind of happening. I don't think AM should have this many kills 20 minutes into the game. It's not like Liquid doesn't have any heroes to be able to deal with the anti-mage. Like I think anti-mage killed the disruptor like 3 times or something this game, and usually it's really annoying to play anti-mage against disruptor.
Roll back onto Jirax. They've got Stack Storm onto Arteezy. Vacuum's not going to do a damn thing, though. They're just dropping everything, trying to kill the anti-mage, but he survives through it all, even with the lance thrown out by the Phantom Lancer. They lose they lose the Tusk, but they lose all these ultimates.
Top tower
Liquid are throwing everything in the kitchen sink onto this AM, and he just will not die.
Oh, top. Vengeful was TPing, but I guess this is where Yules is really nice.
I don't know, Fata blinks
Maybe
forward. Fata has no blink. He's actually going to get taken out. Oh my goodness, DC are just tanking through everything the Liquid have for them, and then turning perfectly.
I guess that was sort of unlucky for Fata, because like when you blink, when you TP to a tower like that and you cancel Venge's TP, you kind of assume that like the Venge is kind of exposed, but he wasn't ready for the Invoker at all, and it's kind of like a combination of bad luck and they're kind of losing focus on the game right now. I think it's going to be really dangerous if Liquid doesn't step up their game in the next 5 minutes.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Well, TC, his Orchid's done, and I guess with the Yule Scepter, Queen of Pain shouldn't be too threatened by this. Matsuma Man tried the TP. Oh goodness. Godlike streak for Arteezy now. 10-1-4. Anti-Mage really starting to cruise through this game. And Digital Chaos, how do they throw this? Because they've not only got a good carry in the AM, but they've got this kind of armor strat going, right? I mean the aura strat. Vengeful Spirit plus Beastmaster. They're great at taking objectives, Roshan, towers, clearing jungle, and then they've got the vision from the Hawk and single target pickoff. Liquid need a 5v5 team fight where they just kill everyone. they vacuum wall into Sonic Wave with the Tusk, Snowball, and Shards, and they say, "Good night, DC, we've just destroyed you." But Digital Chaos won't let them have it. They're split pushing, they're split farming, and they're never being exposed in these sort of choke point areas.
Well, when the draft ended, I kind of said that both teams might match up somewhat evenly, at least until the mid game. But they just made way too many mistakes. I don't think Anti-Mage should have gotten this many kills. If anything, they should have. They didn't really need to kill the Anti-Mage. Just kind of make it hard for him to farm so freely, I guess, and. They kind of just ran into him, and he was able to get so many kills that they lost their timing to pressure the anti-mage. I think at this rate he's going to have an easy second Roche Aegis, and at that point I'm really worried for Liquid because they don't have the best tools for killing anti-mage right now.
No? And in situations like we just saw there, they go for a 5-man smoke. In my opinion, they want to go and force a fight. They want to go and try and, catch DC off guard, maybe find 3-4 heroes that are grouped up somewhere and annihilate them. But AUY's positioning was so perfect. They knew the smoke was coming, they knew where Liquid were coming from, and he was just hiding in these trees, waiting, biding his time. But giving away Avenge there is perfect for DC.
He probably knew he was gonna die. Like just by looking at where he died, he was happy to die. In exchange for breaking their smoke so early.
Absolutely.
I think DC understands that these kind of deaths on Vengeful don't matter at all. All they have to do is they already have the ward set up so that they have better map control, and as a result, they're gonna have better Roche control. And Liquid right now are feeling pressure that, like, they can't just farm equally right now. They don't have the same farming tools. So they're trying to make something happen, but how can they right now? They need like at least 3 people to kill the anti-mage, and their movements are going to be read by either the Beastmaster Hawks or the Ghost Walking Invoker running around.
They do have a Hex on the Queen of Pain now. That could really enable them to get onto this anti-mage a little bit easier, but with the Roche attempt from RTZ already in the pit, Liquid going forward, TC is going to get spotted, Shards with the snowball, Hex is here from Fata as well, but the Tornado is early, swap back, and AUI's caught them, RTZ jumps forward, he's got an illusion up here from Mind Control, but the anti-mage doesn't care, crushes through 3 of them, 2 of them already, looking for the 3rd with Matuma Man there, but RTZ, he's got no mana left, can't blink, AUI's being chased back by these PL illusions. But you take a look at top. That was a 4v5. And again, Liquid throw everything down. Don't even get a kill.
Yeah, I think they felt confident. I mean, like, the Liquid didn't feel confident, but they thought they might have a winning chance because they saw Beastmaster top, and Beastmaster has a Necro 3, so he's pretty strong, but like I said earlier, they feel desperate, but just by looking at DC's positioning that fight, they were on top of the hill, they were ready. They were just basically waiting for Anti-Mage to solo the Roche, and Liquid just happened to run into them at the time.
Well, Kuroki, 1,000 gold. Don't know what he's looking for here. With the Arcane's Medallion, you know, maybe you go into the Solar Crest, but you compare, let's say, the Disruptor to the Venge. Vengeful Spirit already has 4 staff nearly done, basically done, for all intents and purposes. But a Soul Crest is finished on her. The supports on DC are so incredibly rich. As Bane even has a Glimmer Cape. Now they'll walk into them again. The Vengeful Spirit will tank the gank. Hex is back onto Bulba here. AUI is getting shredded under the shards, but they'll lose 2. So finally Liquid gets something for their troubles. The Tornado's coming in. Oh, we clipped 3 of them there. And we stop anything from happening. But you look at the trade-off again. Arteezy's pushed into the tier 3 at bottom lane, taking it down to 2/3 HP. It's just a split game. DC are just splitting them across the map.
Yeah, just looking at the scoreboard, just right now, Liquid got 2 kills on the Beastmaster and Venge, but they still don't feel good about this game because they know what matters is the bigger picture, and this Anti-Mage has an Abyssal Blade. This is the type of game where Anti-Mage can solo carry the game, and he's backed up by a Vengeful, so a lot of these heroes that Liquid have, like the Hex on Queen of Pain, the Disruptor ult, Glimpse into ult, Tusks, they're not going to matter. They're lacking damage right now, but even if they did have the damage, they have to fight against an Anti-Mage with an Aegis, backed by Vengeful swap.
And a 4 staff on the Venge as well. Swaps back for 1437 AUI now in the front of things, but Tumberman trying to clear through the Bane. He'll finally get the pick off, and the glimpse back onto TC will put him into a difficult spot, but with the Sonic Wave they're not doing enough. Arteezy just blinks himself forward. The snowball onto that hero in the front lines will get the TC Invoker, but Aegis is still up on this Anti-Mage. Liquid have killed off 3 here. Secondary life of Arteezy coming up. What are they going to be able to do with it with the Hex? Fata's actually caught him, and they'll get the kill with a lag. Color, but Arteezy's dead. AUI is now chased back behind the trees, and Liquid got the team fight they wanted. And a tier 2. Taking Aegis off the AM, killing 4. They finally found DC in a choke point that they can actually utilize all of their spells in.
Yeah, I think that was a massive blunder by DC. I don't think, with the advantage they had, they should have lost the team fight so hard. I'm not sure where all the spells were used on, because, well, first of all, like when Anti-Mage revived from Aegis, Vengeful didn't have swap, so I didn't really see where the swap was used.
The Bane got caught, then Ven swapped Bane out, and then everyone ran in. So basically, they could have just left the Bane to die. I feel like that would have been the best choice. Was just let Bane die and walk away. And
yeah,
fine.
You sometimes have to make the hard choices. Like when you're playing Dazzle, you can't grave anyone. Like the first person to be in threat of dying. Like you sometimes have to just hold on to your saving spells.
DC have already lost the melee rack. Jirax is being taken down, but Matuma Man with his Phantom Lance, they're actually getting some work done here. Hex back onto AUI with a tornado. Scepter's there, but Matuma Man is gripped up and will die. We've got the racks and the swap back. Mind Control is in the enemy base. Cold Snap will slow him down, and TC forced that forward by his teammate. Vac back into the death of the Necro Warrior. Actually kills him off there, it looks like, with the help of some range creep action.
Yeah, so, wow, like, I think it was only like 5 minutes ago that I said Liquid they're in some deep trouble, but, things happened, and they got a melee racks. It's not the end of the world for Digital Chaos. They have the type of lineup where they win a team fight later on, and it could just mean like game from there. Like even right now, we see like they're able to push down these towers so fast. They might hit the tier 3 a bit here, seeing as how the Darkseer feel dead, but they're gonna choose to play it safe.
I think if we look at side lanes, there's nothing else pushing in. If they had like bot lane closer to the tier 3, they go for the tier 3 mid. But there's so much farm to be had. If Artesian,
yeah, that's true.
If Artesian TC can just go back and BKB's done actually. I was looking at that before. So TC has his BKB done. That's gonna save him a hell of a lot from the Hex on Queen of Pain and the vacuum back from the Darkseer. But what, in your opinion, does Anti-Mage actually build into next? Because there are so many options.
I think Butterfly is solid for now. He doesn't really need BKB so much because, like I mentioned earlier, he's backed by Venge, so the Hex won't be as lethal. PL and Queen of Pain are not really convenient cores to go MKB on, so the Butterfly purchase might last a long while before it gets countered.
Well, Digital Chaos, they know that Fat is down here. This Queen of Pain is pretty bloody stacked. BKB, Hex, Yule Scepter. But it doesn't matter if they get the Fiend's Grip up onto you. They walk up to high ground, the dust, the smoke is going to be popped, and now they go in. Raw and Grip both on the Fata. Down he goes, but no! The snowball save, I think, from Durex as the lag comes through. DC lose too. I don't know what's going on, but people are dying. With a Sonic Wave across, Matuma Man clears up the Anti-Mage, and TC's on the run out. Jirax can look for the punch, but it's on cooldown for another 10 seconds. Trapped in the shards. They just need some dust, but nothing coming out of Liquid. Over in the back, AUI stuns up Fata with the punches from Venge, just killing off the Quap, and will get the kill. Holy shit, that damage from AUI. Where did it come from? And where did Fata go?
That was quite unfortunate because you notice how they ran into Liquid as Liquid were smoking. So clearly Liquid didn't know where that they were being smoked on. Had they kind of met earlier, I guess, or like, should I say, when DC was on high ground and they had better positioning, things could have gone differently. But that was really a clutch play by Jirax. He's a Tusk spammer, so his snowball was on point.
He is a Tusk spammer. Yeah, that's definitely where you can look at it.
When we played on the same team together, Jirax was always really happy on Tusk.
Was it that
it's a
bad?
fun hero, and I mean, it suits his playstyle really well. You know, like it's such a high skill cap hero, like both Ice Shards and Snowball. It's a matter of like seconds and an inch, like a few pixels that it might be game winning or losing, depending on how you use it.
I still remember when he was on Hot 6 with you guys. Even if he's on Witch Doctor or Rubik or something, he's TPing around at 1 minute in, looking for any roam and gank he can have, and yeah, you're right, Tusk really does fit the bill for that one. And Lotus Orb looks like Jirax is going to be picking up. I mean, bounce back, roar, and swap and things like that. Not going to be too shabby. Kuro has himself a Ghost Scepter. Now, if we look at the Darkseer though, this is really the key pivotal hero. Blade Mail Blink Mech. Just trying to deal with all this damage output from like Necro units and anti-mage mana burn.
I've never seen a blade mill on Darkseer, I think, ever. But have you, Durka?
I feel like I have, but I'm pretty sure Mind Control has done it before, but it might have been an FPL game or something.
Okay.
It's not common for sure though. Like it's not a good.
I gotta see it to believe it, I guess. I think back to the you raised a question of what item should Anti-Mage get next. I think based on how these fights are going, he might have to go BKB because I think he's not able to do much DPS because the threat of PL just burning all his mana, which is kind of ironic that Anti-Mage's mana is getting all burnt.
Oh, the balanced Catman. He's got that Diffusal Blade level 2 with a Skadi completed as well now. I mean, Arteezy with Alacrity is an absolute monster for sure. 256 bonus damage, but full lane Arax is gone, Liquid.
Yeah, Roche is gonna spawn pretty soon.
Oh yeah, you're right. I mean, bot tier 2 standing, that's like the one big thing in the way here. Oh, Bulba! The shards, they were there, but Fata couldn't get in with the Hex or the Yule Scepter. And Mind Control, he's looking to scout this out, but the Beastmaster Hawk is giving vision, making sure that DC have the tactical advantage around this pit.
I think the next minute or two, well, Roche is gonna spawn in a few seconds, I think. Both teams know what's up right now. They're setting up. I don't think either side wants to just jump into the Roche pit. I mean, they can only jump in if they're sure that like they see a core from the opposing side on the other side of the map.
Well, in they go. Digital Chaos. Sigil will fly across and hello guys, what are you up to?
I mean, this is so risky.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this Hawk, okay, it flies across and it sees Liquid. But now both teams know what's going on. Arteezy's there, well, all the blink forward. Fata goes for the Hex, but he's not going to catch it. Arteezy's positioning was under the buttocks of Roshan, basically. Sharp trap.
Does have a BKB right now.
Oh, you're right. Static Storm is not going to do anything. EMP's there. Arteezy just pops it. He knows he can go for Kuroki, but the Ghost Scepter will keep him alive for now. Fata not so lucky. Gets taken out, and with the Abyssal Blade still up, Arteezy goes for the second hit. Matuma Man, what's your plan of action here? Because Arteezy, Mana Void back, and Matuma Man's dead. There's another doppelganger away.
Oh, the Iron Shell.
It gives him away. The Iron Shell, the double edge. No. No! What?
Oh my god.
Can you explain?
I mean, we're watching with full vision, so maybe like from their perspective it didn't look so obvious, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. They get that was a huge win for Digital Chaos, and they get a Roche for free on top. Wait, maybe not? Oh my god.
I mean, Mind Control. Hello? Are you a god?
This guy does this all the time, I think.
Vengeful Spirit swapped him in though.
Oh wait, did he?
I heard the swap and I was wondering what's going on. Vengeful Spirit, well, I'll take that back. Vengeful Spirit swapped someone. It may have been Bulba that Venge swapped out. But Mind Control definitely got in there. Actually, that seems more likely now. The Venge swaps Bulba away to try and get in with the stun.
Wow, I didn't even think Snatch would be possible at this point because like they have a Beastmaster and like they have a ward on top of the Roche pit, so I thought they would have enough vision to like not get like cheated like that from the Aegis, but I mean like now like Anti-Mage doesn't have Aegis, so that's kind of unfortunate.
I've got to ask Twitch chat now because they're all saying that AUI swapped him in. Yes, okay, so I wasn't going insane. So in my head, I just feel like that's not a good play. So I didn't think AUI would have done it, but apparently, Vengeful Spirit swapped the Darkseer in to try and kill him off. Okay, so that gave Mind Control the easy access to that Aegis, and now Mind Control force blink, plenty of mobility to try and do that kind of sneaky shenanigans again.
Oh. I mean, to be completely honest, I wasn't even watching the Roche pick because I kind of took it for granted that they would get, like, there wouldn't be any contest or, like, any attempt. Given, like, the factors I mentioned about the Beastmaster Hawks and, like, how they could control the vision around the Roche pit. And it was only Mind Control, too, that was And the Darkseer doesn't really have a stun to, like if it's a Earthshaker, he can kind of echo and take the Aegis more reliably.
Mind control is just that good. So the Lotus Orb is done for the Tusk now. See what Jirax can do with that. Little bad boy. But there's a plate mail on Invoker. Now, we've seen our fair share of like AC Invoker on the Quaswex build, just to give you that kind of game-ending item. Help you push high ground, help take buildings and towers and things like that. Shiva's, though, is so good against Phantom Lancer that I don't think you can pass it up. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I don't think Shiva's on Invoker is that good against PL. I think Shiva's on maybe some other heroes might be better because I don't think Wex Invoker does enough AoE damage to like what do you say? Like I think Shiva's on Earthshaker, like for example Earthshaker, like he can go and like burst down all the illusions, so it's kind of clear.
Oh, Bulba. The tornado's good. With Lotus Orb there onto Fata. Pops his BKB and turns. The shards have trapped 1437 and TCN with a grip, waiting until the very end, but they'll kill him off. The Darkseer does drop, and Arteezy just hunting for any kill he can get. He's hungry, but who's hungrier? Matoma Man definitely blasted back. TC's actually Diffusal Bladed, purged and slowed, and they can't get their hands on a target. Fata's back in the fight, and he's just cruising through them all. Bulba still has his roar. And that's something we're going to look out for. If he turns around and gets the real PL, it could get Arteezy to blink forward, but no. Digital Chaos back themselves up, a 2 for 2 there. But DC were the ones on the aggressive, and just take a look at their top and mid lanes. They're losing out on these engagements.
Oh, that was sort of an awkward engagement. I mean, the spot that they had to fight in, they kind of have to they blew the Bane ult on the Quap, and then it got immediately cancelled. And it's hard for me to analyze the fights because like these fights are happening in like this map is new, so I'm not sure. Like, to be fair, like you have to look at the fights from each perspective. So I'm not sure what it looked like from Liquid side or DC side because I don't know how they ran into each other because this ramp is like really awkward for me right now.
Bulba bought back in that. I didn't even notice, to be honest. Bulba bought back and got back into it. I thought he managed to disengage.
Yeah, you said you mentioned that he didn't use his ult. Maybe he got bursted down before it happened.
Holy crap, it was so quick. Oh, here we go. Here we go. The new rune has spawned. Fata has the arcane rune. So Arteezy kills off Disruptor and they're chasing down Mind Control. Not going to find it. Sorry, I got so excited about the arcane rune. Kuroki dying to Arteezy, you know, left and right, but the thing staring us right in the middle is that shiny new pink rune spawn. So decreased mana cost, decreased cooldowns for 50 seconds. It doesn't look like Fata's going to be using anything.
Is it the first time that rune spawned?
I feel like it. This game, yeah, I feel like it.
Wow, it's been like 44 minutes, and I don't think I've seen the arcane rune used before.
Dire's bottom tower
I thought maybe we weren't just looking out for it, but I don't feel it spawned either. Well, Digital Chaos. They had themselves a decent lead at one point, looking at 10k net worth, but Liquid, they've brought it back, and with that Rax advantage mid they've got, definitely looking forward to where this game's going, but the lead they have in their hands isn't massive by any means. There's basically nothing in it right now, net worth, like metric-wise, there's no difference between these two teams. Team fight-wise, Liquid have been winning the last couple.
Well, the numbers don't really matter at this point. It's really just like one big fight, one big mistake can just lose you the game. Oh, bottom Tusk.
Yeah. And the Glimmer Cape into Nightmare and Fiend's Grip, and Jirax is going to get controlled up and held in place. Oh yeah, TC, he just walked himself over. It looks like he should be, oh maybe not.
Oh, he might actually,
can he blink?
Blink dagger.
No, he can't. He cannot. Jirax will drop. Poor little Tusk.
Oh, so it does look like the Invoker's gonna opt for the Shiva's Guard, as you mentioned. And Anti-Mage picked up an NKB.
Oh my god, look at that refresher on the Queen of Pain. 46 minutes in, and she's basically 6-slotted right now. So double ult, BKB, Hex, Shivers. Absolutely monstrous.
It always amazes me how Fata always gets 6-slotted in like, every early plays.
Anthony just swapped back. It's a little bit scary though here for DC because that situation, I don't know if they realize Queen of Pain does have a Hex. The Yule steps her up onto AM as he blinks forward. Trying to chip away at him as the roar is expended onto Kuroki, forced staffed away, and Arteezy, he's very deep here. He's way too far in. Matsuma Man clears him up, and now Fata blinks aggressively. Oh, gets the refresher down, and now Shiva's guard. They can't see TC, but Bulba will lose his life. Arteezy, that play. Ballsy, but not worth it.
Like the blink he did was so bold that for a moment I thought he had Aegis, but like then I realized like the Darkseer snatch that happened earlier, and then I don't know what the plan was right now because they didn't have to dive. Like the Radiant was glyphing and like they were gonna be able to take the tier 3 really easily. Not sure what happened. Maybe miscommunication. They are using Arteezy as a stand-in after all. They lost a gem. I don't know what's going on. This game is like way too crazy right now.
It's a 30k net worth anti-mage as well. I mean, if you look at it that way, if all of your eggs are in the AM basket, he cannot play hyper-aggressively like that into the enemy base. On single target heroes, okay, you can find pick-offs and play aggressively, but blinking in 1v5 is just way out there, and he's actually forced to buy back here. Tornado will catch onto Fata with the EMP, not really going to do anything. 1437 is looking for the, Nightmare into grip? But Matsuma Man is up here on the front line with his Butterfly. Skadi, these illusions are so difficult to clear through. You mentioned that AM's pretty good against this old Phantom Lancer, but only if he actually can go and walk into him, because the BKB from Fata gets the roar down from Bulba onto the Queen of Pain, but Snowball save! Jirax is there, ready to save his teammate. Matsuma Man drops on the back end, but Jirax actually trapped here in the enemy base. Swap back, will take Fata into the Nightmare. Do they have anything to lock him down? Stun into death, and they get the kill, losing only 1 Rax.
They have to run down mid right now. I think AM's gonna buy a Boots of Travel.
That was without Vacuum Wall. That was without Static Storm. Like, Liquid had no teamfight ultis in that fight thrown down.
Are they trying to make a play at mid? Right.
RTZ bought back, and he has no BKB. If they can kill him here, then sure enough.
Happening?
Oh, can they do this? That illusion from Microtroll's wall is good, but I mean, Heen?
No, I was in disbelief that like I saw like the Darkseer and like Disruptor kind of like eyeing their anti-mage like he was their food, but I guess
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
they oh my god, they could have been.
They could have defended high ground. That's going to be a free Rax mid and maybe Rax bot here for Digital Chaos. I don't know what just happened. What on earth did we just witness?
I mean,
well, DC will be happy with that. They get melee Rax mid and maybe the one down here with 1437 up on the high ground, nightmaring up illusions. DC will just back up. I can understand like the initial start of their train of thought, right? AM bought back. If we kill him, he doesn't have buyback. That's what started that move, surely. But
yeah,
what followed afterwards?
I mean, I think for them, those two to kill Anti-Mage, like Anti-Mage has to basically hit the Darkseer with Blade Mail on and not turn on BKB. And even if he does turn on the Blade Mail, he can just not hit him and kill him after Blade Mail's down. Hold that thought. Roshan is up.
Oh.
I think they could have possibly made a play on bottom Rax, but I think when they backed, they respected the fact that their AM's buybacks on cooldown, so they didn't want to throw the game. And it shows that they're confident playing this further out.
Well, looks like we have a little bit of technical issue here for both teams. A crash for each team at the same time, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I'm guessing that's Dota 2 crashing or the game crashing rather than both PCs crashing at the same time. I mean, that's just too spooky. That's too spooky for me. But I think you're right. Digital Chaos, the way they've been playing this has been very ebb and flow, sort of playing off what Liquid are doing. They don't seem to have made any great strides to do their own thing. It's always been, right, we split the map, we farm as much as we can, we don't engage head on. We don't actually go eye to eye with the beast that is Liquid's teamfight. So when Liquid are actually knocking on their door and taking down racks, they've kind of backed off and drawn Liquid in. We've seen it. You know, Jirax snowballing in aggressively, Fata blinking forward. And that's when Arteezy striked. If we go back to that fight up at top racks, they had Fata here, the Tusk snowball towards the Ancient over to the east. Arteezy saw the PL stranded alone. And if Arteezy can get a 1v1 against PL, he's going to take that fight every day of the week. So DC, they know. They're very good at picking these engagements and just knowing what heroes to go on and what heroes to focus on. It's down to Liquid to choose the arena of battle a little bit carefully, I think. Because they're the ones that need a choke point. They're the ones that have these big AoE ultimates. The question is Roshan that arena? Because with Forge Spirits and Hawks and Swaps and Blinks and Roars, getting a pick off for DC or initiating into the fight is pretty good.
I think it's going to be super tense because at this point in the game, Aegis matters more. And the both sides don't have, like, neither the carries have buyback. PL uses buyback. So that's going to be really, both the AM and, I don't think, Anti-Mage doesn't have a slot for Aegis, so it doesn't really matter for him.
He doesn't even have boots.
But it's important just to deny the other side the Aegis at this point.
Arteezy's basically in a pub game right now. No boots gaming. No boots. Butterfly, MKB, Manta Style, Abyssal, BKB, Battle Fury. So, in this case, I guess Invoker, Aegis, Cheese on, I don't know, the Beastmaster, I guess, then.
Yeah, I think the Aegis should go on the Invoker. If only to, like, so that the Venge doesn't have to swap Invoker and, like, risk having an anti-mage die because her swap's on cooldown.
So, Phantom Lancer, Darkseer, Disruptor, Anti-Mage, none of them have buybacks. This next fight, if it is around the Roche Pit, could be deciding of the game, honestly. Depending on who dies and who survives. But both teams, they're getting ready and posturing around this one. So, I honestly cannot believe it's 51 minutes into the game. It feels much earlier. It feels like a fresh game sort of 25, 30 minutes in. The amount of back and forth we're getting from both of these teams, there's not been a decisive play. There's not been anything really setting the precedent, you know? There's really nothing in it. And either team could win one team fight and win.
Yeah. I think we can both agree that neither of the two teams have been playing up to their potential. We saw sloppy plays from both sides going back and forth. And that probably has to do with the fact that these guys are, like, they're put off by all these changes. I'm having a hard time navigating the map. Like the fight earlier in the Radiant Jungle, it's not just the map. I just feel like I'm playing a different game or watching a different game. So I can imagine how confused these guys might be if they haven't had the chance to play many games, because the patch came out, I think, when most teams arrived in China. So they may not have had the LAN set up to get it as many games as they would have hoped for.
It's a crazy one, honestly. It's just like read patch notes. Oh, that seems pretty good. We'll try a little bit of that. Why do you think we've not seen any of the new items, though?
Well, I mean, it's the same as the heroes. Coming into this tournament, you're gonna stick to, like, even if the heroes that were popular in the last patch were nerfed, you're still gonna understand them at a higher level than trying out a new hero that you think is good, because Dota's complicated. Like all the patch these items patches and the jungle patches might point to a hero becoming better, but like you just have to try playing the game out, and like your opinion of the patch will change a lot every week, and like a month and two from now, people are gonna look back at like what they predicted would be, the popular stuff with the patch notes, and they're just gonna see how wrong they were, and that's how Dota's always been. So these teams it's the first game, so they don't want to, try something way too crazy and like have a wasted game, like the kind of games where you lose, but you lost while trying something that you didn't even have that much confidence with. So you want to try something. You want to play a draft that's in your comfort zone, and it's the same for items too. I think people just didn't have enough time to figure out what's good. They might have ideas about what might be good, but it's a match, and I guess until they have more confidence from playing more pubs, they're just gonna stick to what they're used to.
I'm just looking at Bulba, and I guess for him, the new Aether Lens is not worth it, because obviously Aghanims is going to give you the extra range anyway. But what we saw the new Fairy, was it Fairy Fire? Oh god.
Yeah.
We saw Fairy Fire from Queen of Pain, but
I'm not sure if he ever used it like effectively.
He just wanted the +2 damage, you know?
Yeah, but
the +2 damage is so minimal. It's that burst heal that you really want it for. Well, nobody knows what's going on at all. Hopefully we'll get this resolved. I mean, it's a 2-game series, and we're what, an hour and 40 minutes into game 1? I mean, schedule-wise,
like that.
Things are going to get interesting today. I'll tell you that. Things are going to get very, very interesting.
I mean, I don't think 90 minutes for a best of 2 is enough time. I mean, maybe like if there are series that just end in like 15-minute stomps, and kind of it makes up, it evens out the long games, maybe. But yeah, with the way the patch came out, the big patch came out, so I think it's safe to say most teams are gonna play less than optimally. They're gonna be confused. They're gonna not pick heroes because a lot of them got nerfed. Like for Doom, like a lot of heroes simply got removed from Captain's mode, so they're gonna be forced to pick somewhat out of their comfort zone, and sloppy plays will more often lead to longer games than shorter games, in my opinion.
And no more Winter Wyvern. No more Winter Wyvern. Kind of sad. That hero. Dominating mid lanes since 2015. Just 2v1 for the first 30 seconds and see how things go. Yeah. Anti-Mage at this point, progression-wise, can he... I guess Battle Fury can be traded out for something. I don't know, a Daedalus, a Rapier, something like that.
No, I think he needs a Battle Fury for now.
Like, for the PL.
Well, for the PL, and like his 4 teammates have like really crap wave clear right now. He's the one that's gonna be able to control the map. So I'd say he can just eat a Boon Shard for now, and he can maybe swap the Manta later on, because I don't think Manta is really important right now.
Okay.
It doesn't really dodge anything. You could swap that out for something like a Boots of Travel, or...
It's made me think now. There was a game where CTY was playing Anti-Mage. He was against a Phantomancer. It was sometime last year, or maybe even two years ago. Oh god, it was a while back. CTY was playing AM against the PL, and it was like 35-40 minutes in. He was 6-slotted, and he sold his Battle Fury for like BOTs or something. I can't remember. He sold his Battle Fury for something. It was a Hex. He sold his Battle Fury for a Hex on an AM to try and get a solo pick off of someone. And they just got crushed because they no longer had a way to deal with PL illusions. They needed that cleave to actually kill off illusions. So he went back and bought the Battle Fury again like 10 minutes later, realizing, hang on a second, I kind of needed that. But it was the same scenario, you know, they had no wave clear, nothing to clear through illusions, nothing to actually deal with it. I mean, DC, with Invoker now having max exort, I guess they've got like Meteor, Deafening Blast, stuff like that. But Villat's laying down the laws, lads. Boys.
Yeah, I think you only really swap out your Battle Fury for something else when it goes like ultra late and all like supports are as strong as carries, and Dota's not Dota anymore. But for now, like 15 minutes, and people have room to grow. Like PL still has another slot. Queen of Pain can swap the Yules for something stronger, I think. So we'll have to see. That said, I think PL kind of has to go MKB right now, because Anti-Mage has a Butterfly on top of the Solo Crest from Vengeful, and basically only Quap and PL are gonna do meaningful damage to Anti-Mage, and I think for PL, like, he needs MKB because it works on the illusions too.
Treads and BOT is on Matoma Man, so he's got something to sell there. I think we're gonna have issues, Heen. I think we're gonna have serious issues because Kuroki reconnected and disconnected. And Jirax is just gone as well. Problems are happening. I mean, we can just sit here and talk about the patch notes if you want. We can do the patch analysis, go through every single line, and
I mean, now's the time to like talk about the patch, I suppose.
For sure. Especially when see, one drops and one reconnects. Doxy's gone, Phantom Lancer's back. Goodness gracious me. I mean, the few heroes that got removed from Captain's Mode, who were they? There was Doom, Wyvern, Death Prophet?
Lone Druid. Death Prophet, yes. Lone Druid also got removed, didn't he?
Yeah. Faceless Void and Ricky. So yeah, Doom, Death Prophet, Faceless Void, Lone Druid,
a lot
Ricky,
of heroes that
Wyvern.
got removed, I think. Yeah, Winter Wyvern, as you mentioned. Let's see. Well, that's almost like 10 heroes, I think. That's a lot.
That's a fair amount.
Yeah, I'm looking through the patch notes and... Well, I guess they kind of made up for it because they added Terrorblade, Earth Spirit, Oracle, and was there something else?
No, that was it. Just the three. Made up for it. I mean, Earth Spirit. Yeah, Earth Spirit's like 3 heroes. Oracle is 2 heroes worth of power.
I can't wait to see Earth Spirit be played, because it was funny because last night I was talking to some of my friends from the NA scene, and I got the feeling that it's the hero is not quite as respected as it is in the Chinese scene. I mean, honestly, I think China has more the better Earth Spirit players, because like in Chinese ranked, there's an Earth Spirit in at least half your games, and some of them are like really, they're a pain to play against, to say the least. So in this tournament, I'm curious to see if when a Chinese team plays against a European team, for example, I want to see if the Earth Spirit's gonna work.
I can't draw on the ground. Damn it. I was gonna draw things, but I can't. Oh well. It's kind of the same in Europe. Like sort of 5 to 6k MMR European games. I'd think about like a third of my games have Earth Spirit in. But it's always the same. Like, you recognize the names, right? It's always the same people.
Yeah.
It's always the same people. You start to recognize that guy. He's gonna pick Earth Spirit. He picks Earth Spirit. But I don't know. Oracle, Terrorblade, not really the same. I want to see Eternal Envy's Terrorblade come back. Bring back the EETB. The bottle Terrorblade with double damage runes was ridiculous. I think he's an actual, like, a relatively well-balanced hero now. Like, Reflection, he's a hero that Ice Frog has struggled a lot in the past with skill set, because he used to have, like, the health drain, They've changed his metamorphosis interaction with illusions now, but I think reflection was always the difficult one. Now it's in a good place. Now it's in a pretty good place. Not sure he's
I
viable
honestly
competitively.
don't know much about the Terrorblade. After his reflection became an AoE spell, I haven't played him once. I heard some people say that he was super OP basically when he first got reworked, but that might have been just like whining. But since then, I haven't really people don't really. Terrorblade is not a very popular hero, so I kind of lost track of how he's been. I guess I could sort of check Dota buff. Usually, win rates are a good indicator of whether a hero's improved or not.
Oh my god. That's meant to say help on the mini-map, guys. Perfect world servers don't let me draw. Well, there we go.
Why?
2 more reconnects. Oh, there we go. It's working now. Okay. So the big thing is, after a pause this long, we've always got to keep ourselves grounded and realize that a fight is about to kick off, or more likely than not, the Roche fight's going to happen. I just wonder, after a pause where, players are disconnecting and it disrupts the flow of the game for them and for us, obviously. Do you back off from this, Roshan? Do you play passively? Do you as a player, what would you do in a situation where you know that you're both in the same boat?
I think both teams realize being impatient might lose you the team fight and therefore the game. So when they pause, I guess it's going to be a long pause. So they're going to kind of just take it easy, take a step back, and kind of evaluate the situation one more time before they make any big decisions. Because right now, when it's paused, it kind of looks like Liquid are rushing into Roche. Whereas DC's kind of waiting for it. They're kind of expecting, I think, for Liquid to kind of make a move. I can't blame them though, because DC's lineup, as we saw earlier, kill Roche incredibly fast, and they have Hawk Vision, so Liquid might have to go in semi-blind, or they might not know how Roche is doing right now. They don't have that many tools to scout Roche. I think they have Tusk Sigil and his Ice Shards, and PL's Illusions, which are not reliable. Yeah, so Liquid is going to check the Roche. Just look, take a peek and see that Roche is healthy, and I don't think DC's gonna. Actually, Anti-Mage might jump in because he can kill the Roche so easily by himself. So he's not gonna really commit to it. He's just gonna force Liquid to make an impatient move.
Send help. Please. Send help to the players and to us. One more. That's all we need. One more. Jerax, you can do it, buddy. Snowball your PC back into action. But yeah, I think that you're right. DC definitely have a lot of advantages coming into this. With Vision, they've got the better high ground advantage. Just being closer to the pit and having AM, like you said, able to just blink in and solo it, basically. But then the problem is, if you have AM go in and solo it, then taking Aegis and Cheese is the difficult part, because obviously Beastmaster and Invoker are the ones
AM's full slotted, and what we also have to respect about Liquid's lineup is that the Roche pit is people often say the Dire has a Roche advantage, but if you look at the way, if Liquid were to engage, they're gonna have a perfect angle to vacuum into Quap ult, Refresher ult at that, and Disruptor ulti. So Anti-Mage, the one who kills Roshan but can't take Aegis or Cheese, he's going to be in the Roche pit, but how are the rest of his teammates going to get into the Roche pit safely is I guess the big question.
With great difficulty. I don't think they really can. Well, I think it's time to look at effigies. There's nothing really interesting. DC, you disappoint me.
They have one.
I mean, some of them have been destroyed already. Liquid have gotten in and destroyed a couple. But yeah, there's only one over there. How about Liquid? Oh, excellent. Yes, Matoma Man. Very, very nice. Jirax has the Earth Spirit one. Oh, they're still broken. If you zoom in into the like interactive mode or the showcase mode,
oh yeah,
they are super broken. Earth Spirit's body is down here, and then the rest of him's up here. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's drawing on the map. Can we translate this into anything? Do we know what they're going to be doing? Oh.
Oh, I think.
Oh. Hieroglyphs?
Well, I think right now, if let's see. Yeah, the DC doesn't really have good vision of Liquid right now, and they might be wondering if they're gonna come at them with smokes. Let's see if Liquid has smokes right now. They don't, I think. No, they don't have smokes right now, but there's no way DC can know this for sure. So they're kind of trying to figure out which angle Liquid's going to come at them. Like right now, the Bane and Beastmaster are they're kind of situated to the right side of Roshan, and they're kind of split up. So if Liquid were to wrap around, they might just insta kill the Beastmaster and Bane, which is obviously really bad. So they're trying to stay safe, but like what do you call it? They have enough leverage over Roshan at the same time, I think.
They sort of want to posture but not commit, basically.
Yeah, they want to. I mean, they want to like feel like they own the Roshan, but in order to do that, they have to be safe first. I think they can't just like they can't be sitting too close to the Roche pit. For the same reason we talked about like how nobody really wants to go into the Roche pit because it's such a high risk position to be in.
Okay, Jirax is back. Fingers crossed. Don't break anymore. Need a sec. There was something I thought of, but I've forgotten now. There was something. I mean, Jirax's Earth Spirit effigy has 0 commends. Oh no, never mind. It has 5. It refreshed. Damn it. I was looking at it thinking, yeah, Earth Spirit Picker, no commends on your effigy. That's how it should be. Okay, here we go. Back underway. Roche fight incoming, maybe? Question mark. XD. Hey, Lamau. Please, give us a game. Yeah, Arteezy just goes in full with a Kipo. That's how we do it. So, Forge Spirit Scout, PL Illusion Scout.
Kala.
Well, that's a Blink Dagger on PL. Does he have it on him? On the Courier. So the Courier is going to be bringing that out to him. Ruffle Copter, Kipo Copter. Oh, goodness. Arteezy is tilting. Arteezy's gone full meme lord. Okay, right, here we go. He sees the PL Illusion. First hit bash, you know, as you do. But DC are the ones that are wrapping around. So they're looking with the Bane and the Beastmaster to get, like you said, maybe that little bit of leverage.
No, he's not hitting the Roche. They're making it look like they're almost killing the Roche, but he hasn't touched the Roche yet. And this Darkseer has to be more careful, I think. Oh.
Pings, do they know? Well, the shards will have spotted out with the with Liquid getting a little bit of vision to that pit, but Arteezy's not in there doing it, and DC are now on this bottom lane with that PL Illusion going forward. Alacrity's up on the anti-mage. Look at that. Look at the illusions running forward. Iron Shelled up, and Arteezy is not really hurting him that much. Tickled a little bit.
Oh,
he's blinked into the trees, though. Gets through with the Battle Fury. Quelling Blaze through that as Fata has found Bulba on the back. There's no Roar, but he is hexed up. Not killed off as anti-mage has killed Jirax in the back. Matuma Man! What was he doing there? The rest of his team was nowhere to be seen. Kuroki swapped back, but the Static Storm isn't going to help him. Bulba gets another kill. And Digital Chaos, I think they've just won the game off the back of that. There's no buybacks. There's nothing.
They don't have buybacks. I don't. They can just go straight for Throne, I think. They can ignore Fada for sure. Yeah, I think they could just Throne it right now. They have like 80 seconds.
What was Matuma Man doing all the way over there, though? Because the rest of his team were following Bulba all the way into the trees. There were like
Dire's middle
3 or 4
tower
people
is
chasing
under
him.
attack.
And Matsuma Man walked into the other
Dire's
4.
middle tower has fallen. Radiant's
I mean,
middle tower has fallen.
obviously miscommunication, but maybe it's the pause affecting them
Radiant's
because
middle tower is under attack.
that was
Radiant's
really
middle tower
anticlimactic.
has
I think,
fallen.
like
Dire's
the way
top barracks are under
they
attack.
fought, like the front line, they didn't even like I don't think QoP and PL should be split up like that. Because like the QoP provides a double hex and double ult, and PL kind of like keeps aim in place, I guess.